Alrighty. Hello, hello, hello. Howdy, howdy, howdy. How are we doing today? I hope everyone's having a great day. Let me turn this off. Turn this on. And I love the music of this game, so we're gonna go ahead and turn it up. I do believe that Remains of Edith Finch does have the best soundtrack. Yay! You can see. Now I have played this game in the past. And one part in particular made me sob. one part in particular, at the point where I had to leave, calm myself down, and come back. But there are two that I am going to have to turn off the audio for. It's the copyright. And that is this one and this one. Things up. We're gonna start a new game. Here we go.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Now this game is drop dead gorgeous. So I will be taking my sweet time.
My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up. Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
It's gorgeous.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms. Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Oh, this game is gorgeous. I'm so happy this was chosen. No.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Also, I do have the audio up because the soundtrack is gorgeous. If it is too loud, please let me know. I remember especially the first time I played. This is where I spent the most time. This and one other spot. We'll get you if it takes a while.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Alright, now we have a choice. Do we want to keep going down the path, or do we want to go through the forest? Both ways are gorgeous. It's just whichever one we want to do. I think I might want to do forest, honestly. Let's go. Pretty. This is also where I spent a lot of time. Just gallivanting. There's mushrooms. Oh.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
God, this game is so pretty. I'm so happy this one got picked. Oh, wow. At this point, I'm just gallivanting. Which is pretty much the game, but still. And a pretty flower.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
We just had frogs, okay? She is. It's a Looney Tunes-esque house.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
They did a basketball hoop, so we can go back the other way. Hi. That was a buck. You can tell by the antler.
No one had driven this way in a long time. but I saw a few hoof prints.
And then we're right back at the start. Can't really see the hoof prints, can you? That's fine. We don't need that, we just need the Looney Tunes house. Frogs! Where are you? I like frogs. I used to live in a spot where whenever it would rain, a certain part would flood. And there would be like a pond there for a really long time. And then I hope the frogs would gather. I miss those frogs. These chairs will last you a lifetime.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house. I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
What's wild is that the key didn't work, but it fit in perfectly.
I asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband. I was 6. It seemed like an odd joke to me even then.
What I really like is that you can tell everything is overgrown. Obviously. You can also tell that really good care was taken for it before it got overgrown. Except for that part of the house, I don't know what happened. Two-minute hand. Oh, the swing. Oh no, the swing. And it's all up there. You see the cemetery.
The house felt like it had always been here. Even the swing set was older than my mother. Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. The power had been turned off the night we left.
And this is where I really fell in love with the game. It's nothing spectacular. It is dust particles and light. And here we are basking. And something about it, I think it's because it's like very reminiscent of an actual older house, an older building. It's like lost at the sands of time. That really made me just love being here. The tennis ball. My grandparents did that. They still do, actually. Oh, the door's still
For the
open.
first
That's
time
not
in
great.
years, I felt like I was home.
January 2010. Oh, dude, remember these microwaves? Oh my god.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
I remember here. Lewis Finch. He was 28? No, 22. Beloved brother of Edith. Son of Dawn, great grandson of Edie. Finch Family Cemetery. Fun fact that everybody already knows, it takes 1,000 books to be a library. The Finches have a library.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Oh, has anyone ever made this recipe? Is it any good? I need someone to let me know.
Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
Also, you can tell Edith is pregnant. There's a baby finch. Baby bird. Anyway, books! Oh, it's 900 books, most of which say the same thing. Not that I'm complaining, it's really nice. Clock is dead at 11:48. Oh my god, there's so much.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
See? A whole library.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
There's a gorgeous view that we can't go outside to look at. All these books that you have never even seen in your life.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit. Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Boo. That ended too quickly. Let's go.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Pudding peanuts.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
November 2010. The garage to January. Dun dun dun. Go.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Molly. Hi, Molly.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
I always really like Molly's door. Not necessarily her room, but her door. Ben and Edie.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
And guess who this is? Oh, Gregory!
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Yeah, this one hurts, Gregory. Then Calvin and Sam.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Barbara, one of my favorites. Hello.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
I do have to mute Barbara's section, unfortunately, because it uses, I think it's one of the Halloween themes, and that's a big
Mom must
old
have
no.
locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
I did it once, and then they were like, actually, copyright, thank you. So, womp womp. Let's get started with, again, one of my favorite rooms in the house. Well, bam.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Because this room is sick as hell. If I could, I would paint my room like this. It has the original house, all the sharks, the fishies, and the crinkling that kind of looks like. Yeah, this room is sick.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
You can
From
see
the
Milton's
paintings on the wall,
drawings.
it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Now we leave the shark room.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Molly. Let's go, Molly.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Yeah, this is sad. It's not one of my favorites. Very sad.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back. My Halloween candy was all gone. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Is your gerbil at home? And then this is where she gets poisoned.
I kept eating and eating. I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
Get him!
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Where am I going? I like the little music, yeah.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl.
Wow!
First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
I missed.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit.
Got him.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
That's the best.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
We're a shark. Dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Go. There she is. Yes. Oh, just wait, it gets worse. Oh, dang it.
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Now we're sea monster, baby!
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet.
What's going on there? What's that?
I wanted to stop it, but also I didn't.
Belly with a rusty, razor, belly with a rusty, belly with a rusty razor. What shall I do with a drunken sailor? What shall I do with a drunken sailor? What shall I do with a drunken sailor? Put him in bed with the captain's daughter. Put him in bed with the captain's daughter. Put him in bed with the captain's daughter.
You do get an achievement for listening to the whole thing, but I already did. Yes! To be fair, this all started because her mother sent her to bed without any food.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
Also, I do have the volume up. Again, it is on purpose. If it is too loud, please let me know.
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Here we go. Here we go. Remember from earlier, this is Molly's restroom. Oh, the camera's kind of glitching. No. This is Molly's room.
I got closer and closer.
We're in Molly's room.
All of my stomach started growling.
All of them.
And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
And that's how she died.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
And then there's a cat.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
You're not superhero. If only she had her Halloween candy, she could have gotten a Snickers.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
These bird cages, each one of them having a photo. They have a nameplate. I feel like this one the least.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
This game is about the Finch family. So everything that happened to the Finches, which is Edith, who we're playing as. Hello, this is Edith. Edith's family. We have Molly, we have Barbara, who we will be seeing, but I do have to mute because copyright. Mural. Sam.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Yeah. Mural. Mural sketches. It's just death and thereafter, but yeah, again, 1,000 books in order to be a library. I'm sure they surpassed it tenfold. Not 10,
Edie
but
gave a
maybe
big interview
twice.
about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
When
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Why would she? That's the door we already looked through.
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
What kills me is that he brought the house.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
And so you do Lewis's. Right, you know, the moment you build a house, you can just take it with you. All you're doing is buying land at that point. Once you buy a house, you're good to go.
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Oh, God. It's the most horrifying part of the game. The carpeted restroom. Oh, God. And a bottle of champagne inside.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom.
It's so bad. It's so bad. I hate
It was
it.
a pretty big trace.
There's a secret in this bathroom by Sven and Edith Finch.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
I mean, I guess, but also it was a pink and carpeted restroom, so I don't know. Girl, you are pregnant. Let's show.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Calvin. And the swing. Oh, God. The swing. Oh, God. Yikes, Rooney. Are we getting to Barbara? We're getting to Barbara. Milton. Oh, you're gonna see what's wrong with the swing. There is an achievement where I have to be on the swing multiple times. So we're all about to experience the swing multiple times. Oh, it's not Barbara. It's Calvin. We're about to experience the swing multiple times right now. I thought we had more time. Sven and Calvin. Or Sam, sorry.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him.
To the command center, let's go.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Here's the swing.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
The swing.
I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt.
One more
I
time.
think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
There we go. Bye, Calvin.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
And promptly was sneezed.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
I can only do it once? Boo. They said we have to do it multiple times and it's not letting me. Alright, let's go.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Now, this kills me. Because Sam is sharing a room with his dead twin. And this guy had to share the room with him for
Mom
years.
said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
What age was he? Hold on. So for 7 years, they shared a room. Good Lord. Alright, here we go. Who's next? Barbara is coming, I know. I'm not the most excited about Barbara because I am gonna have to... What is it called? Mute it? Because of the music. Oh, Barbara's next.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
And also, I want it to be known that all this climbing and jumping and all that good stuff, Edith is pregnant. All this jumping and climbing and stuff, she is doing well, like heavily pregnant.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
It's both. Trying to get there. Also, hello. We have Barbara. With my friend Bigfoot. Alright, here we go. Gosh, she has so
I never
many.
thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Alright, here we go. I'm gonna have to mute it. And now I shall read to you the story of Barbara. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one. Well, Jack here has another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. It's one of the first, Halloweens, so it doesn't work. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. And I ain't doing that. And now at 16, she was all washed up. a has-been. But in a lucky break, she had been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well. Getting better. I just think you need the right motivation. Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when... No, that was a great scream. It was Barbara's father, Sven. He slept into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Convention comeback was cancelled. Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried? I am full on Halloween masks have been terrorizing August Island. These are urgent residents who came to the basement. You're right. Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is the door locked? My dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding. So finally the key pops out. Safe, babe. I'll be back in a sec. 30 minutes later, Rick had not returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. He reached for the music box. Restraining order. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. Yeah, this is where the music starts to kick in. It's, the original, I think it's Halloween, Michael Myers. She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst. So I'm gonna get all these off. Get off. Get off. That's another achievement. Get them all off. Boom! Thank you. Now let's go. The bloody handprint's very funny. The gang leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who was impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight. I like that you can see the trail from Sven. It's supposed to be like, ooh, mysterious, but like, you already know what happened. The old fridge rattled and grew still. I have a crutch. Get bent. Oh dear. Rick? Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream. Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I am furious. Then act furious. I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're... You threw him out. She kept a little something to remember him by. Barb, you see me at the crotch? She was still holding it, then fell asleep, watching the late picture show. Hours later. Walter, what's going on up there? He's screaming. Hey, I'm coming up. If this is a trick, you are dead, Walter. As you can see how the living room design changed. Right, it is the dick move. Also the moon and the Halloween music is much louder now. There's blood in the chair, but no there isn't. Alright, let's go. Take the key out of the door, idiot. I'm sorry, I just noticed a skeleton. Hi! I was also a very nice touch. Let's go. Walter! Thanks for that. Another skeleton! Hi, honey! Where's Walter's room? There it is. He was the shark man! Walter was the sharks! Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on. August Island Police described the man at 6 feet tall as a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify police of any suspicious activity. A return saw the hook man and was speechless. It was quite smashing. Whoever it was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara. Hey, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here. At night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. Whap! It wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet. Let's go. And he's gone. The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was, "Ding dong, hello." At the door, she heard whispering. Coming from inside of the house. Oh dear. Surprise! Bravo, Barbara. You're wonderful, we love you! The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And in her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. Little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. Took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box, was all they ever found of her. Her ear. And that's what I call a real eerie tale. Now I can turn this back on.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Barbara's story is not necessarily my favorite. I think Milton's might be. I like Molly's, but I also really like Milton's. Just because of the way that it's shown. Happy birthday, Barbara. We don't know.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
The whole thing in this game is we have to try to decide what the truth is. All of these stories are made up by other people. By Edie, by Sven, by the people just speculating, like with Barbara. So we discern the truth from what happened. What I think happened with Molly... Hold on. What I think happened with Molly is because she was so hungry, she was eating the berries and the toothpaste. She gave herself poisoning. She poisoned herself because she was hungry. Calvin, we know what happened. We saw what happened. He flew off the swing and probably over the edge to his death. I really don't know about Barbara. Because there's a couple ways it could have gone for Barbara. And Odin, we know, he drowned with the house. Yeah, probably. We just know that he went sailing. And the next one is bad. Not in like the sense of, oh my god, but it's like very depressing. Music box. I have not, because spooky scary. I do know that the stories are really good for Silent Hill, though. I would watch...
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
I would watch Let's Plays of Silent Hill, though. I just don't think I could, play it myself. I do have, Obra Dinn, actually, The Return of Obra Dinn. I just haven't played it. I have a lot of games I haven't played, actually.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Well, it's been fun.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories,
I have Deltarune. I literally just bought it and I was really tempted.
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Like I was so tempted. I was like, no, I'm gonna wait. But I'm ready. I want to play. Because I really liked Undertale.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
This one is sad.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
I forgot how to do it.
But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today.
Peaches.
I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years.
Yes.
I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
This one is sad. But not for the typical reason. You've never been down here, I don't think.
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara. And Molly. And Calvin.
And Calvin did that to himself, let's be real.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
I know what the shaking is? Look at where we are. Look at what is right under our feet.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week.
And whenever you try to get off the path,
I'd be
pushes
happy
you right back.
with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
He just wanted to go outside.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
He was so scared, he finally worked up the courage. And there he went. Because he didn't know it was a train.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Yeah, he was living in the basement the whole time. Don't jump down. Don't jump down. Thank you.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Pushes me out, dude.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
No, he kept himself in the basement. He was trying to get away from whatever killed Molly and Barbara and Calvin. He was scared, and so he hid in the basement. And so Edie, Grandma Edie, would bring down like food and stuff for him and be like, "Hey, do you want to come up?" And he goes, "No." He chose to be in the basement. Because going up into the house would kill him. He was the mole man that was living under the
Trying
house.
to bury something that's still alive.
And here it is, the subway. Not the subway, but the actual train.
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Yeah, Walter. Don't put a train on there! It's such a dick move. Technically, Walter was doing both. And now that part of the island washed away. No more train.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
Ah, yes, the chairs. All the chairs.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
I also like how it's slowly getting darker as well. It's right, Charity.
But I thought you should know about your family.
Oh, God. Forgot about this.
And the history you're a part of.
Oh, and here's the pipe that led up to Molly. So when she was the, what's it called? The sea monster, this was the pipe. God, I hate the statue. Molly was the cat that became the owl, that became the shark, that became the sea monster. The one with the fairy tale room.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
We can see the house. House number 1.
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
God, the game is so pretty. There it is, the original house. Look at that view. I don't know what that is floating in the water. Alright, there's a couple ways we can go. I always go to the
When you look
cemetery
at the
route.
house, had that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness.
And there's the swing.
Any of it seems possible.
This is the side yard. In the front of the house. Let's go to the cemetery.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Oh, that's because we're cool.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
Yeah, because look at how
3
many...
of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
There are so many in here. Oh my god. A frog! All the birds. This is the ride! Yippee!
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
And Barbara. Ben. Or Walter, sorry. Ben and Edie. The builder and the writer. Calvin. And Molly. Hi, Molly.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
We can keep going down, or we can take a look at the old house.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
There it is.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand.
Oh. I don't know how that works. Now we were about to see
But the
people we
older I
haven't.
get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
We're about to see people we have not fully met yet, so here we go.
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
We have Gus, Sam. This is the one that makes me cry, which I will not do. I will be a brave person. I'm not gonna cry, mainly because I will be muting it, and that will help.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
Yeah, there's no death day because they never found him. Sanjay, that is Edith's dad, was married into the family. And then Lewis.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
She is 22 weeks pregnant. I need that to be known. She's 22 weeks pregnant and she is doing this. It stresses me out, man. This is the garage. Here we are. Actually, no, it can't. He has to do it now.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
The bear scares me every time. I know it's there.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Well, 9 months is a typical pregnancy. So, 36, I guess? Would be like the roundabout. So, she is in the 2nd trimester, I think, for a pregnancy. But there's a lot of like early.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Yeah, there's like some are 8 months, some are like way later. It just depends.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime. Perfect.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything? It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Aw.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Don!
Good lord.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so...
normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Yep. That's how we died.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
This man was 33 years old and he looked so much older. It looks like the oldest, aside from Odin and Edie, was Walter. Which means Walter did something right. Here we go, back in the wall.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Oh no, we're here already? God. Yes, we are. Oh, I'm not ready. Hold on. Ugh. I'm gonna be strong and I'm gonna be brave. Gonna hurt. Gonna hurt a lot. I hope we're all ready. Yep, a 1-year-old. Here we go. I'll turn it off. I have to mute it because it's bad. I will, hold on. Mimic here to the rescue. Alright. Mute the audio. Because it is, Dance with the Sugar Plum Fairy. Okay. Do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't. Now we're a frog. Da-ba-da. That time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Sam, I told you I don't want to talk about that right now. I wonder what he saw. I want the ducks. What the world was like. Remind me so much of Calvin. That's in his imagination. What was he saw? It sure made him happy. How silly it sounds. Yeah, worried about a baby being too happy. I could feel him slipping away. Sorry about that, Gregory. You did everything you could. If I hadn't called that night. Damn it. No! I wish you could have told us about the world he saw. There we go. Hey, there's so much I don't understand. About Gregory. About everything. I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam. So this is the last time I played. This is where I had to stop so that way I can just cry and die. But I'm okay. Probably because I'm live streaming. That's probably the difference. It hurts though. It hurts real bad. And also the fact that all of what he was writing was written on a divorce contract. Meaning that after this, everything fell apart for them. Both Sam and Kay. There's just so many layers. Oh, alright, we're good. Respect. That's Dawn's, that's Gregory's. That's Gus's. Strength, respect, teamwork. Where's the evacuation plan? House rules. No playing outside without permission, no answering doors to strangers. No messes after dark, all chores before dark, respect others. I don't think I've ever woken up laughing. That'd be fun. Raise flag, 7:30 a.m., breakfast 8 a.m., quiet time 11 p.m. Duties Dawn, sweeping trash Gus. Mop and mow yard, Greg, be a baby. Routine, jumper, 100%, jumping jacks, 150%, push-ups, 100%, crunches, 100%, run to the mailbox and back. Gregory, Dawn.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
I love Gus's mohawk, though.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea.
Now we get to know
Our
about the
father never
chairs.
hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
I'm just gonna cause mayhem.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
A little crazy.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her. We don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now
remembered.
pronounce you husband and wife.
You're not pronouncing husband and wife. Let's go. The totems.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Hell yeah, kid. Let's go.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Here's the tent. From the chairs.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. And all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
And there goes the tent.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Yeah, he died from the falling debris.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus. My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
Again, 22 weeks pregnant, everyone.
At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
How many are there? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. Right, like, oh my god.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
And again, sharing a room with dead relatives is not gonna help.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
Yeah, Sanjay. And you can see All the missing poster. The tower! Oh my god. The tower has the best music. Wherever can go this way.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
And so that's when this addition was built onto the house. This topsy-turvy whatever. You have Lewis.
And to see kids in the house again.
You have Edith. And then Milton, who just built with the flower pots instead. Which, me too. Dawn.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Great job! Awesome! Analyze objectively. Never stop learning. Assume nothing. Respect criticism. Ask tough questions. Multiplication tables. More books. Reading is a hoot! For sure. And then pulled out for a projector. There's the projector. I could never find it last time. For family history. Fact or fiction? Lewis rules. Hell yeah. Edith Lewis Milton.
But it didn't last.
Mrs. Finch. Scientific method, observation, question, research, hypothesis, experiment. Data, conclusion. Relief efforts end in disaster. And Sanjay. Yeah, they were homeschooled. To Teach and to Learn, 7 Ways to Create a Fulfilling Classroom by Dawn Finch. Which is the mom, by the way. Odin Finch, Myth, The Curse, History. Classification. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, variety. Alright, here we go, tower time.
The end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
No, Milton went missing. Alright, time for the best song in this whole game. Here we go.
Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
Fun fact, I played this song at work. Another fun fact, all of these are from a game called Unfinished Swan, which I believe is supposed to be about Milton. I tried playing it before, for like video series, but I got too mesmerized and wasn't talking, and that it wasn't good. Beautiful game. But I'm not good when it's super pretty when it comes to recording because I just stop talking and I just fall in love. Hey, King Milton, what happened?
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Here he goes. Bye, Milton.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
And now, sadly, the music has stopped.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Yes, he went to the Shadow Realm.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
I can see that the tide is coming in because the house is getting lower. I know, it's so sad that as soon as you find the flip book that the music stops. It's very sad. Also, we're just leaving all these doors open. Come on, man. Am I not able to? I'm stuck on the door. There we go.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Oh, which Edith? There's two.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Louis's room. Except Louis.
I wonder why, baby. Let's go. Aw. YouTube, if you're wondering what this is, it's
Louis's
nothing.
room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
I really like the ceiling tapestry, though. I've always really liked it.
Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Yes, he did. Hey, he at least graduated high school. Let's go. Good on Finch.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
This one gets very loud.
He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small.
Okay, then let me turn it down then. Hold on. It won't let me unless I do a specific thing. But I actually can't turn it down. I'll just shut up then.
Imagining a labyrinth.
I also have to control both of these at the same time.
He'd feel his way about.
Ah.
Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then, daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss, but he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him.
Where am I? There I am.
It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
No.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis-topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
This is where it gets really loud.
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
That's some queen, baby. Let's go.
handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for sinister serpents. Yep. He followed the sound of her.
I like sitars better. No, I like harps. Sitar.
Electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
And here we go. Now you're ready to see how Louis dies?
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Louis, the cannery worker.
Here he is.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Hi, Louis.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Very loud. Forgive me.
The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting me. His queen waited, holding his crown. bend down on his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Hey, you got it, the queen, though. Yeah, that's how it goes. You overwork them to the point of no return.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
That's messed up.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
Peanuts!
But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Man, she had a direct line to Milton, too. Evac specialist. Ooh. Oh, Sanjay.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Edith. And a little bird. Another little bird.
But it had to end one way or another.
Glow in the dark stars.
All that's left now was to tell you about that last night.
He was on the bed.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom said the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Look at those gloves. I don't.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
History of the Finches by Edith Finch.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. I started seeing things.
You're that killed him.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot.
I don't really know what happened.
We both tried to make the best of it.
To Grandma Edith.
A few years went by.
I think she might have died of a broken heart. I don't know.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
And then Dawn died of illness.
The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
And Edith died during childbirth.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
And that is the story of What Remains of Edith Finch. Yeah, but you keep having people dying from knives, and that's not what happens. I think the only person who was really myrtle-urdled was Maybe Barbara. I don't really know how with Barbara. Because there was one for poisoning, one from flying, quote-unquote, two from drowning, Odin and Gregory, one from falling debris. Milton disappeared. Milton doesn't count. Lewis was himself. Dawn was illness. I believe Grandma Edith was either of a broken heart or complications with medicine. And then our Edith, childbirth. Where's everything? Gus. Gus was the deer. And then the train for Walter. Sam was the deer. Sam was the camera and the deer. I think it was Sam who enlisted too? I don't know. But no, the first time I played this game, I cried horrifically. At Gregory. I don't know, this time I'm chilling. I am so a little sad. Cause like it's one of those games that you just feel it. You don't, not like an oh my god, but you feel it. It is a genuinely sad game. Okay. How does I press play again? Oh, we're just back at the beginning. Oh god. No, wait. That's not what I wanted. That's fine, we can be in the pretty nature again. While we do thoughts and feelings.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just gonna start at the beginning, with the house. Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it. My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
Yeah, there's nothing new.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
And you can see the house from all the way up here.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
And my favorite spot. Yeah, no, this game is genuinely sad. 100%. It is a game that you sit and you think about for a long time. But it is also one of the most important games I've ever played. The visuals, the audio, the storytelling. It is genuinely one of the most beautiful games I have ever played. Oh, something about it. Even though it leaves me a mess. I have to go, oh my god, and like pet my cat a whole bunch. I still am like so drawn to it. Also, we can never find the frogs. Every time I play, I search for the frogs. You can never find the frogs. Yeah, and Rachel? Who's Rachel? Who's Rachel? Hold on. I don't think Edith was ever married. Lewis wasn't. I don't know about Milton. Edith is 17. I think it's in the state of California. You can't get married until you're at least 18. Without written consent. So I don't know what happened with that. I don't know. The whole game, we don't get told anything about Edith's life, really. Only about them. Sanjay died in the, what's it called? The relief efforts. As we saw from his tag, he would go in and he would get people out. Most likely he was crushed by debris from that. Kay got out of there. We don't know what happened to Kay. I don't think she's dead. I think she was able to get out. Sven? I forget what happened with him. I know he's dead. I forgot what happened to him. And then Edie, of course. Who else? We know what happened to Gregory. We know what happened to Gus. To Sam, to Walter, to Odin, Calvin, Molly, Lewis, Milton, kind of, Dawn, Edith. The only two kind of question marks are Barbara and Edie. Barbara's for sure a question mark. Edie, it's either from the wine that she was drinking and it mixed with her medications and did an uh-oh. And Barbara, we really don't know. Yeah, no, none of them lasted very long. Molly was 10, Barbara was 16. Calvin was 11. I know Odin got decently far at 57. Walter also got decently far at 53. Sam was 33. Edie was the longest at 93? Go Edie. Gregory had the least amount of time. Gus at 13. Dawn. I have to do math. 48. Milton, we don't know. Lewis was 23. And Edith was 17. We don't know how old Sanjay was, or Kay, or Sven. Yeah, none of them made it, except for Edie. She lasted the longest. Dawn tried to get away, but didn't make it. And Edith really didn't make it. And that's part of why it's so sad. Once you know the ages of everyone, when they died and how they died, it's brutality. I feel like Walter had the shortest end of the stick because of his extreme fear, and he's like, I'm ready, and then immediately gets hit by a train. Like, this man did not stand a chance. He tried to save himself from their fate and ended up getting a worse one. But the thing is about Molly. Let's talk about Molly real quick. I feel like Molly, her death game were all hallucinations, obviously. But because she ate the berries and the toothpaste, the chemicals in each of those combined together and could have made a poison that was killing Molly. Which is why, even though she's like, oh, I'm eating and it's gonna be fine, she was dying. Oh, well, we can do it right now. Let's go.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Let's go right
Maybe she
now.
thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Let's go the faster way. Oh, I remember what happened to Sven. Dragon.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
I remember, because Sven was building the dragon slide. Hi, baby. We don't get to see where it went. We don't even get to see the actual hoof prints. Womp womp.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
I forget how old Sven was. But this dragon is what killed him.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Back up, get a full view of this nonsense. And Lewis's room is the boat right there. Edith is all the way up there. You can see all the ledges from Molly's room. Milton's tower.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
All these missing posters from Milton.
I asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband. I was 6. It seemed like an odd joke to me, even then.
Yeah, so this is what killed Sven. He's building a dragon slide, and then it crushed him. That means that you missed my favorite.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Dawn's parents.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Wait, because Gregory is her brother? So it was Sam. Sam and Kay were her parents. Dawn's parents. And then you get your very first glimpse of the Thackeray.
The house felt like it had always been here. Even the swing set was older than my mother.
With the Calvin. And then I get to see my favorite shot. One of them, anyway.
Prowling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
And that is this. It is nothing. Then nothing is happening. Absolutely nothing. but it's gorgeous. That can swing, dude. Can cause a lot of problems. The light coming through the window, the shadows from everything up against the window, the dust particles. Yeah, the whole thing. I don't know, something about it's just really, really nice. I can't leave again, so here we go.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Yeah, it's just nice. But yeah, that's it for the game. We could go through everything again. But I think it's okay to leave it. I will be playing it again on my own time. Of course I will. This game is just so gorgeous. And the sound design, everything about it. The character kind of moves when she breathes. I wasn't going to. Don't worry about that. With a title like that, I know it'll be too much for me. Yep. I think I'm gonna end the stream here. I think I'm gonna end it here and just kind of soak this in for a minute. So anyway, thank you very much for coming out. Thank you for having me. The whole 9 yards, I really do appreciate it. I'm always happy when I get to play What Remains of Edith Finch, even though it's so sad. Oh my god. But yeah, be good people and hopefully I will see you later.